Aggressive and convincing. Down to the B site. Starting off this map. This is where I start to fear for Vitality as much as I want to try to hype them up and, you know, scream top 5, top this. Let's be fair. Since they've returned from ECS, they've actually had some online struggles. You know, a 16-14 victory, or I believe over top of, victory over Isaac O'Boars. Like, that was a game that got way too close. I would just wreck someone, Tom.
Straight through smoke, and smoke goes down, and Hunter's just dead.
Of course it happens, right? This is how the follow-up buy all unfolds. ZywOo gets the first headshot. It is just that scout pistol round, so let's see if they can get it. But point being, of course, Vitality haven't been as cookie-cutter clean as they'd hope for. CR4ZY could be a team that very much real puts a dent in them.
Yeah, for sure, and they are a team that can definitely challenge versus some of the best teams. I think on their day, they could give anyone a run for their money. So, yeah, I'm excited for this matchup. It's online as well, which means that in terms of CR4ZY, and when it comes to their coach, he's able to be as vocal as he likes. I think that will help them over at DreamHack Summer as well. But here we go. Quick split in towards the site. Apex going to be waiting in the corner. There are a lot of players here for the CT side. They've read this one very well indeed. 2 players already within the site, but Esperanto, he gets the first opener, second as well. There's still another. He didn't expect it, and I can't really blame him. 3 players within the site. And Alex, well, he was the one man waiting just in case it was B. Out of the action and kind of out of hope here. Maybe just wanting to try and get himself an extra weapon. And sure, Mac 10's not great, but that's something for the next round.
Swift headshots. Good thing they're swift headshots, because those CTs also close nearby that, well, wouldn't have been shocked to see maybe Nexa finished off or another body hit the ground. But CR4ZY get into the A site in convincing fashion, and they part ways with the force of Vitality. When you see that first ZywOo headshot on the scout, though, that's what makes you think to yourself, this is how the force buy round always ends up. But not gonna happen. Remember, there's some ridiculous stats coming out of Vitality of like their success rate with and versus pistol rounds after ECS. Like these guys are a wild unknown quantity at time, and I think that comes from ZywOo in particular. You know, at any moment this guy just turns around and gets himself a 3K. We saw those ridiculous aces over versus say Ents, B site Inferno. If you go back and watch the HLTV top 10 plays of May, I think he's in it like at least 6 of them. It's wild. It's a great montage as well for those of you who have some time to now do something else, because this is just pistols.
Yeah, the thing is as well is even when you think about his time in AAA, like he made the ESEA top 10 like pretty much every week just because he was so good at just getting like pistol aces and ridiculous things. But it's also worth mentioning that this has been something that has been almost a standard for the French scene for years. Like the team envy a second round force by pistol when it was like MBK, Apex, like Happy Kenny, like on that roster. They were so good at winning those force buys. So it's not like it's anything new. I'm sure that at this point Apex just sits there and go, yeah, of course we won the second round. Like it's not a surprise to me anymore. And yeah, just adding ZywOo into the mix as someone who is so unbelievably talented, I'm sure that's going to help.
Let's see what's up next. Vitality all still sitting on 1 or 0 kills as Otto and Hunter hit the 5 mark. Hunter now continuing with said success. See you later, Alex. He'll still have the goose egg going forward. Poor guy gets Mac 10. Loses his AUG. And now they have Hunter down beneath the setup of Vitality. He's going to break the windows, create some commotion, cause a ruckus, and try to draw a rotation off of the ramp. But NBK holds still. RPK is up on the rafters of the A site. Everybody's still very relaxed for Vitality, and they're forcing CR4ZY to go into the execution, which they do. They hit the A site. They clear RPK from above. Apex with a, whoa, collateral. ZywOo nails it from the heaven. Can't come out wide enough to get a follow-up kill. Esperanto with a saving grace, and NBK traded to the end. It's Otto with a 4th for CR4ZY. But damn, ZywOo, perfect position for a collateral shot that almost turns the tide.
I don't think there's going to be a quiet round of this game. I'm looking forward to it, like genuinely. I think that although there's arguments that we might see like possibly better Counter-Strike when we watch like the movie star games after this, although it's on Vertigo, so who knows. I think this is just going to be the most exciting game. Like, both teams is so much individual skill, but definitely well practiced as well. Like, I think that's something that people forget, especially about like CR4ZY. Like, we've seen all these individuals and how good they can be, but like, watch the map we just had previously versus XCOM. They were not taking anything for granted. They had some fantastic executes on a map that a lot of teams don't play, and they, even just watching them there run into the A side of Nuke, like they definitely had the utility usage down. It's just, wow, if you get collateraled by an AWP, anything can get out of control. So a very strong start. Likely to see 5 rounds on the T side already for CR4ZY, which definitely not as much of a death sentence as it used to be, but still a bit of a worry, especially this early in the game.
Ooh, RPK gets curious. Walks through hut. Tries for his aggression, and Apex tries to flood forward as well. Speaking of floods, CR4ZY hit this 8. Everybody's on it. We've got the anchor over towards Squeaky. Letney's waiting for these last 2 CTs to show face, in which they could. Pushing into ramp, the double deagle of ZywOo and NBK. Place your bet, Tom. How many kills are Vitality taking out of this round? Oh my. Oh my. Oh. They're doing the damage. This is ridiculous. Of course, Esperanto picks up the headshot. ZywOo with a parting gift. That's it. 1 rifle down with Nexa. 5-0 start. It's glorious.
I've seen that wall spam done so many times. I don't think I've ever seen a kill come out of it, like, in all honesty. So the fact that they're so committed to just spraying through that wall, and Esperanto manages to get himself a kill. Otto, 9-0 at the moment.
Wow. I love that Letney shoots the first couple of bullets. Like, he's the first dude to do it, and then everybody starts pummeling the 7.62. Put like 100 bullets through the wall and pick up your kills. But this is a fast flash out from Squeaky Door. NBK with a high road. He's got teammates here to support him, and the damage is so substantial, and it's done early. Nexa, 17 health as he gets himself the 2nd kill, but wow. Fast pace to that one. They blow out Squeaky Door, they charge past Mini, and it's within the chaos that Vitality come out on top. 5-1.
Yeah, those rounds are either going to be a landslide in one way or the other. You run out towards the door, and the chances are you're going to get spammed down, and the double heaven play that came out in that round from Vitality, too much for the T side, but we'll see how they now bounce back. This has been a platform for Team Vitality to build off of. Esperanto, he looks to go straight out once again, but he's going to be punished. Not expecting Apex to come in so late from above. That's already going to be the man advantage picked up now for the CT side.
That's a weird one. He's kind of walking back and forward through the door a couple times. I think I saw his arm up, so it must have been half flashed at least. But not a comfortable way to lose your opening duel. You know, you're not gaining all too much information. Apex at this point could have repositioned anyway. So, CR4ZY are just going to have to fall back and rely on playing with man disadvantage. Ramp control non-existent at the moment, but they've collected themselves inside of CTs haven't been all too active. NBK floating around the bottom of heaven. ZywOo still just patiently waiting with scope up. And CR4ZY are going to spread out. Now, if Otto gets the op duel picked up, that could change things. That could start flustering Vitality into maybe a ramp rotation, but instead they pick up the kill, and a 5v3 means everyone's going to stay stagnant, maybe even pushing. RPK flashed into hut. As the T's take sight, Apex is punished.
Yeah, the thing is, though, RPK, he has control of the bomb. Like, that's the problem. The bomb was the last man to come through as the remainder went through the door, so now they have to try and fight back in towards the lobby, and that's never going to happen. Like, that's a horrible spot to try and retake once the CT's already gained control. So still a little bit closer than you probably would have liked when you're in such an advantageous spot from Vitality, but ultimately that drop from RPK, that little bit of aggression that this time worked out, is enough to win them the round. And, well, we now start to see T-side money getting diminished. And the building of economy on the other side. Damage done, but Hunter survives. He's just going to continue to run. This has been his goal. Oh, what?
Au revoir.
How did he know? Did he see something I didn't? Like, well, I can see stuff he can't, so that makes no sense.
Next round. ZywOo's already got this one in the bag. Smoke off shot. Nope. You're not getting past. Remember, he's the one who also killed Otto in that op duel last round, winning out on ramp, forcing the hand at the A site. So he's opened up shop yet again. Incroyable.
Leaves me gobsmacked on a regular occurrence. But I enjoy it, so I don't mind. RPK, he's getting aggressive a lot. I'm surprised he hasn't been punished more. It's sort of been a 1-for-1 so far, but it's actually going to be the push through the door. Apex starting to pick up the pace a little bit, but will be traded out. ZywOo looking to rotate in, almost caught, not expecting him on that close, but he doesn't even flinch, doesn't even look back to the other player. He's so focused on the kill. Letney now, his aim is to get a bomb plant, but it seems the CTs already have a man around that angle. Alex is prepared. With 15 seconds left, Letney kind of has to just run into the blender here.
Yeah, he's going to get torn up. And hopefully dies before time expires. Ooh, ZywOo's playing with him. ZywOo's going to go for this. You know it. You know it, Tom. It's coming. Letney's still hiding. Back spotted. Nope. ZywOo has the discipline to wait. His teammates clear it all out, and they deny the weapon saved. Crazy. They may have that 5-0 start, but Vitality are bringing it back now. Match pause. It's incredible to me that ZywOo goes into heaven and then just jumps into the A site. He is fully exposed to 3 Ts at that moment, right? It's the same moment Crazy decided to push out through Squeaky Door and Hut. And the moment he hits the ground, he's scoped in on Hut and cutting off one side of the offensive, gets back in control of the whole other situation with the Squeaky Door push, and you've got Vitality with a 3rd round. Plus, on top of it, not only is he picking up these huge moments like within an execution, but he also establishes a 5v4 in back-to-back rounds, effectively pushing Crazy here into the E. So let's see if Vitality can manage versus Pistols. Sometimes things get crazy on rounds like this.
Expecting maybe a faster play, but it seems fairly patient from Crazy in this scenario. Small amount of utility, 1 Molotov. And I'm interested to see where this is going to be going. It's Esperanto holding it, has a Deagle alongside. Letney obviously can't afford to invest anything into this round. Now they're going to go pushing. That nade does a hell of a lot of damage. Already just whittling away at these T players. Information's been gathered, but they're actually going to relinquish the ramp and just look to fall back towards the lobby. Maybe trying to just bait some rotations in from this T side, or CT side, sorry, and then get back into A. And this is the push. Straight into the site they go, but they haven't baited too many. Still, though, they managed to get 2 kills. And Nexus found another with the Deagle. Apex looking to do the work, though, can spray down a couple and leaves it onto MBK. Both players either low or armorless. They have managed to retrieve a weapon, and they should get the plant.
Flash to the left, peeks right, spam damage done, and Letney's gonna seal this one off, but oh my neck. He only 1Ds the guy in heaven, and that rate in and of itself is praiseworthy because it opens up the bomb site for the plant. The whole rest of his team pushes in, but before he's done, Tom, he snaps back 90 degrees and just wrecks the head of the guy standing outside in garage. So 2 huge Juan-Digs coming out of Nexa in a pistol round that shouldn't have been added to the board. Crazy doubling the score now of Vitality, and everybody back in on a buy. That is what you call a crazy round. We saw it coming. We warned you of it. And Nexa frickin' delivers. But of course it's ZywOo once more. Back into what seems like normal now. 5 versus 4 established because of the French Opera.
Yeah, he's been getting opening picks on every different point of the map. Wherever he goes, it seems to be working out. And There's not many players who can peek into Esperanto when he's holding an angle and just pop his head and walk away. Like it's a lot easier said than done. But he definitely does make it look easy. Split back towards the A site they go. ZywOo in position with the AWP next against the opener, but it's going to be a quick trade back, and now Apex with a double of his own leaves it all onto Hunter. He's been good so far. In fact, gets a second, but he can't quite transition onto MBK. Still makes things a little bit more costly for the CTs, but the Ts are the ones in a little bit more trouble, and it looks like they're actually going to go for a force here. Esperanto straight away buys in with a Tech 9 and armor. I wonder if that's a little bit of frustration after being wrecked so hard in the last round, or if this is actually a team decision, because there's definitely some holes in this purchase.
Yeah, and 2 rounds of loss bonus is what they have at the moment. So let's say everybody curbs their buy down to like $3,000. You know, you're talking full-fledged buy in the next, and even Hunter, he could have had like an extra little bit of drop pistols in this one maybe.
Or an AK. He's been really good so far.
Man.
So
all right, let's see what the half buy comes in with. We've got everybody coming in. Has Esperanto gone ahead and convinced the whole team?
They did it before with less.
It's Letney got. I'm waiting to see what that pistol gets swapped for. A Galul. 2 of them. 3 rifles, CZ Tech 9, and a large collection of grenades here for the T side. So because you're coming in with a buy like this, I would hate to see them just rush it and play too fast for their own good. You have so much utility that I would love to see it maximize. Get yourself into control of portions of the map based on the smokes and the flash. And so far, they've done that. They're pressuring the side of Mini, but again, a collateral. Not for the second kill. Hunter splattered in the guts of Esperanto. Juices flowing outdoors as the Opera's pushed back, and there is still a push in through Mini to the A site. Letney hit. He uses the rifle, one of which to get an opening kill. Ooh. The follow-up is his, and Nexa comes wide with the CZ75 auto. The follow-up, and ZywOo has it all to do. A collateral to start and a 1v3 to close. There's the first, Tom. There's the first, and nearly a second. Oh, 14 health is all he has.
Well, all players are low at this point. I genuinely don't know who's going to come out on top, but Hunter will get the plant. This is still a very tough situation for ZywOo to get out of, but he is the man you'd want in this position. Hunter going to run away, so he should at least now know roughly where one of these 2 players is. It's the second where he's clueless. There's actually a flank coming in from Letney on the back, so ZywOo is going to need to do something very impressive here. He's going to be able to get away with this. Looks for the push onto Hunter, who's waiting on the angle, and he'll be able to finish the round. A great turnaround from the start, as CR4ZY managed to make things work again with their 4 spies. And again, I want to highlight Letney today. Like, he's had some really high impact plays that have changed round. We said it in the last game. He had 3 clutch situations, all won. This one goes running into the A site and does the majority of the damage after ZywOo hits the collab.
Incredible. What a turning point as well. CR4ZY now with a huge advantage, but also huge damage from that nade. All right. Solid start. It's going to be CR4ZY trying to hug this mini wall yet again to use it in fast entry on. They managed to slip past ZywOo even despite his best efforts last round. I mean, frig, guy gets a collateral shot. They still manage to sneak in. It was because of their decision-making. Fast and lethal. Hunter on the forefront. Apex close, and Alex even goes on top of a box. He's got vision. He knows there's players here. Oh, Letney close takes his head off. Pistol's not working all out for Vitality. Not the way it did for CR4ZY. Nope. Now they're going to get pinched on this A site because we've got T's taking the high ropes. Letney ready to pinch this site and just topple what remains of the pistol purchase.
And they're actually making a decision to take some control around that B area. Esperanto's still peeking. He's only got 37 HP, so has to be a bit careful, but you could say that for 3 of the 5 players over on the roster at the moment. Peek in. Apex manages a first, just holding those close angles. Going to be pushed on. He's still alive somehow, and peeks back out with another 2 kills to his name. And now it's left all onto Esperanto. 1 versus 2. The pistols now in the hands of the CT side, and no round is safe, Connor. Not one round is safe.
it works out for Vitality to swing it back, and that's huge. But so I was thinking of this stat, dropped by Pitara of HLTV. Vitality at the ECS Grand Finals, the LAN, right? They lost 15 rounds to semi-buys / ecos when the other team had a value of $15,000 total on their buy. They lost 15 of those rounds throughout the tournament. The next highest was Complexity at 7. More than doubled that. So there's a very real problem. A very real problem that Vitality has when it comes to rounds like this. It's wild, but it is back in control for the time being. NBKC's body's outdoors, but there's an op in play. And we know Otto is the real deal. This team shifts into the next gear when the opera's on point. And right now he's posted, hoping that NBK comes back in and gets roasted towards CT spawn, but he's peeking the windows instead, and Otto will eventually work his way there. Oh, did you see that sliver of skin given up by NBK on his walk back? He's clearing ramp at the moment as we hit the minute mark, but they still want to use Otto to crack this round wide open.
They've got the time to do it, that's for sure. He got off to a flying start, but has definitely cooled off. It was one of the main reasons they got off to the 5-0 scoreline. He's watching. He knows that the CT side like to get aggressive, so maybe expecting something similar. He is the one that kind of needs to make the play. The remaining 2 players don't have anything to go on, and they're actually just going to go running straight into this side. But again, it's RPK. He's been in such a valuable position every single time, hiding in the hut, getting aggressive, and just causing them problems from behind. Looking to push in from this angle once again. They still may not know too much about that AWP, but they are starting to clean things up. Otto left into a 1 versus 3 situation. Spots the player, but can't hit the shot. And Vitality will rectify what was a round that got very, very scary.
Done. Done deal. A retake good for Vitality. 3v3 that gets scary. Another potential round where the pistols serve way too much damage. But, I mean, best case scenario for Vitality, still 8-7. You have to ask yourself if that's where they'd like to be at the end of a CT half. Regardless, they find themselves with guns, so there are far worse places to be. Op included for young Ziwu. He's going to head it out towards ramp with NBK to support. I've got to give praise to NBK. I feel like his ramp to heaven / hell rotations have been very on point. When we get those full-blown A executes, he's always finding himself within the mix. And when the outer pressure's there, he keeps from spawn. But they've lost it all on A already. Nexa and Esperanto with opening kills and Molotovs to follow to the heavens. That's going to block everything off. Smoke grenades to follow just to be sure. And a man advantage over for CR4ZY means maybe they take 8 before this half is even over.
Yeah, this is a scenario that, well, you can just see the CT side not willing to attempt. And it's one of the first times you've actually seen a save coming out from either of the sides. I think the only other one I can remember was Letney's attempt, and he ends up going down after time. So it will just be the remaining players hiding. The T's can't even really go for exit kills. They want to escape this one safely as their reserves are small, and although the next is the last round, they still want to buy up utility. They want to be able to drop a decent weapon over to Otto as well, so just staying alive more important for CR4ZY at this point. And, well, for the CT side, they'll have a reasonable buy. They'll be able to drop a rifle over to RPK. Might mean there's a piece or 2 of utility missing, but nothing that's the end of the world.
Let's go. Run it back one more time, Tom. You got a bet in this one. Where's it landed? Who's taking the last round?
Let's go CR4ZY. Why not?
Let's do it, baby. They're going crazy already into the A site, right? Yeah. That one got put to sleep real quick. They try with a final hit through Squeaky Door to add one more round to the tally, and yeah, not gonna happen. Unless Letney pulls out a ridiculous clutch. We have seen him work his magic on Vertigo to begin the broadcast today. And this 1 versus 4 has ample time for him to play around with. So what's the thought process? Starts off by trying to pressure outdoors, gets a peek. You know, that's a lot of map control that somebody can try to keep eyes on, and he takes away the information. Single smoke is why he finds himself in spawn. Let's follow that one. Where does it fly? Over the buildings to the depth of CT spawn to block off the hell windows. Now he walks into Squeaky, and the challenge will be Alex. But Alex, ooh, he was moving his crosshair. There was a chance. A chance struck down as we're now nearly tied, Tom. But 8-7 is the score at the end of the half. CR4ZY going to take that lead, and Vitality looking to bounce back on an offense. I can't wait to see ZywOo try to peel apart this defense.
Yeah, and I think this is where we now need to see the step up from Alex. Like, he was playing... I would say that most takes we saw were on A, if not nearly all of them. Like, there were a lot of battles on the A side, and he was the man playing the rotator to B. So I'm not really going to sit here and, like, rail on him for having, I think it was 4 or 5 kills in that first half, because he was playing a role where basically if he needs to get a lot of frags, they'd already lost the round. So... a tough spot to play. But on the T side, I think that's why we've actually seen the rise of Vitality. It's been the rise of Alex as well. Like, sure, Zai was the star, but he's been the star since he joined. Like, there were more sort of skeptical people than there are now about how talented he is, because not everybody had seen him play in like the likes of AAA and torn up MDL for season after season, even with a much weaker roster. But Alex was the one who came in as a bit more of a quieter role within the team, definitely seemed more supportive. But when it came to their T sides, at least in like ECS and tournaments where they've been successful, he really has been a big part of it. So I think they're going to need him.
100%. He's been a key piece to this roster. So let's see it activated. See if those entries get flowing. Also, I look to Apex as well on a T side to maybe find more impact, and he had himself a great first half. And that's something that's nice to see, because yesterday when Vitality had struggles, Apex had something like 0 or 1 kills for like the first 8. It was a rough one, so to say. But they knew what they were up against as they begun this game versus CR4ZY. Now let's see Vitality let loose on the offensive. They've bought into the smoke flash for Apex. And we've got 2 Ts outdoors as Bomb works through mid.
Ready. A slow round. We're going to look to wrap around. Not so much utility, so this more just comes down to individual battles. That's why the tank has himself, or had himself, the P250. But Esperanto is just working his way around the outside. The bomb has, in the meantime, been able to be planted, but a tough hold now for the remaining Ts as only 3 of them remain. Nade goes in and actually does dunk onto ZywOo, not as much as maybe it seemed initially. Just look at the patience. Alex is going to kill off Esperanto. Now peeks back in. There is a double from him already. Said we needed more, but Nexa is there to close 1, and Otto with the 2nd. It gets, again, close, as pretty much every round has been in this match. But it is going to be crazy to take themselves the pistol once again.
Excellent way for them to extend the lead they finished the first half with. Buys in from both sides. Of course, Vitality with a force. Utility is all over. We got plenty of smokes for them to... Can't help but anticipate some kind of outer hit. Maybe a potential mini wrap, as we saw from CR4ZY towards the end of their T half. But initially, Squeaky doors blown open. Wall of smokes down for the outer cross, and Letney can't find timing, but there's a gap right at the end, so at least he has the number, and he counts them.
Yeah, you can see the amount of rotations have already come in from the guys on CR4ZY. That little bit of information, such a small gap, and probably even smaller from his POV, because we all know that GoTV gives you that little bit of extra vision sometimes. But that piece of information is enough for them to know this is going to be a push coming in. Nexa, or slightly off the angle, but Hunter's here as well. This is the thing, they're running straight into what is a stacked crossfire. And while not expecting this many players to be around, that very small bit of info is enough for CR4ZY to have a very clean 2nd.
Yeah, that's where info wins a round, you know? We've got a guy spotting legs, 1 little piggy, 2 little, and all the little piggies ran into the slaughterhouse that was that crossfire on B. Damn, those staircases were occupied by CR4ZY. They didn't even move. MP9 and the Augs just shredding flesh from bone and pushing us here into the purchase from Vitality. It comes with a cost. Apex, well, he's got $500 to spare and just a CZ in hand. An alternate wall of smokes thrown by Vitality, but it's the pressure towards ramp that they're going to look to flex. It's Nexa holding back with the AUG on rafters, and Otto here with an incendiary. If he puts this down at the right time, he could completely nullify this push, but they're already so close, you know they're going to charge through it. And Nexa cuts off the first one. They try to clear corners, and Nexa's going to activate a second time. RPK with both these kills, and the only opening down to the B site. There is still timing if they get ahead of Hunter. They've got the smokes to cover plant. But they don't. They ought not to. And it's a double spray down from Hunter. He opens the doors and swings the round closed. They could have covered plant, Tom, but they opted for decon, and that decision costs them.
That almost looked like an exact, almost definition of being caught with your trousers down, because you just see the planter just jump into the air and just go like, oh, what are you doing in here? My privacy.
My private parts.
Here we go. Fast rush. Esperanto, MP9, chance to make some cash, but again, RPK, I think he's definitely one of the best P250 players just out there. Like, he just knows how good this gun is. He's just utilizing it at all points. 2 kills for him. May not seem like the best round, but hey, that's some damage done. You've reduced the amount of money that's building up for CR4ZY, which for some of the players is starting to get a little bit silly. Like, we see Letney with 7,000 before he buys the AWP for Otto. And now things get interesting. An AWP for ZY, one for the Finn on the other side. That's where it gets good, Connor.
I'm down. That's what I'm here for. Good Counter-Strike. And ZY wants to give it to me. But he's not yet been unleashed from the top of the silo. Now peeking, seeing Letney, and clearing the initial threat. There is another one nearby. Otto with the AWP in hand, waiting for somebody to peek around a corner. But you see Apex, he's already gotten behind Mini, so he could walk all the way up without ever being seen unless Otto peeks wide. Ooh, and he's spotted. Both ways the damage goes, but it's even back up at 4v4. Squeaky door is hit. They flush their way through it. Bomb dropped in the process. It's Hunter and Nexa across the kill feed to lock this one down. 13 rounds now for CR4ZY, and I don't know if we're going to get to see a T-side, Tom, because this defense is holding strong.
Yeah, 3 rounds away from being 15-0 in the MDL. They have been out and out unbeatable so far, and we were expecting this to be the team to give them a real run for their money. Vitality currently 10-1. They don't bounce back soon. It could be 2. Apex has been given a rifle. MBK dead within seconds. Hunter has been so good in this map. He was a bit quiet in the last, playing a lurk role, but has had his impact in this one. 25-12. We know the skill ceiling of this man, but Apex has started to return. 2 kills with that Catalyst AK. He'll be traded out by the AWP. Leave it on to Alex, who's been able to retrieve himself an AUG. But I mentioned that he needed to have a big step up, and Esperanto puts him down before any, words could even reach my lips in terms of a clutch.
Next round, please. Guns yet again, and Vitality running out of chances. This is a scary look for them, Tom. When I thought about the crazy Team Vitality game today, when I got out of bed and I was making my coffee and Wheaties, I was ready to sweat to the 16-14 finish. But this one's a bit of a masterclass coming out of the CT side. Vitality just can't get their legs beneath them. At least they've gotten a 5v4. Opening up shop outdoors. Hunter loses Letney and falls back accordingly. We have Vitality setting back up inside of lobby. Eventually there'll be a hit, there'll be a crunch. And if they do head back outside, then Otto's op is hungry for them. Still so much utility on both sides and so much time as well. I don't feel like we're going to get a burst just yet unless Vitality take their chances with another squeaky.
Oh, Esperanto gets the timing onto MBK, but then it's going to be a quick trade back. Otto, though, just before they duck down, he finds a pick. There's no chance to trade that. So although it's likely to be an afterplant situation, it's still going to be good for the CT side. There was little to no hope if they get down there without that. Instead, rotation coming in. Alex catches Hunter as he slowly walks down the ladder, and Nexa peeks out into a crossfire with ZywOo. It's left onto Otto, and saving the AWP may have to become his main goal in this round, as although he has money, although Esperanto has money, the rest of the team haven't been saving their cash.
It worked. Whoa. It worked. Sorry, for a second I thought Alex was looking at enemies. My observer got messed up. I had a little heart attack, Tom. Maybe the kinds of heart attacks Vitality will have, pushing A doors over and over, but this time, you can't blame them. They walk away with a round, an 8th to the board, and CR4ZY with an AWP and plenty of cash to be shared. Bountiful amounts in their coffers. They invest their funds. And we'll try to now lock down another gun round from Vitality, AWP included. I want to watch ZywOo. I want to see where he goes. If he tries to crack it from silo, nope. Looks like he'll be playing from the ground floor out. Flashes an initial smoke to cross. Let's see what he's got.
Not much by the looks of things. Everybody has gone past. Even still, though, it's the rest of the team doing the damage. They'll put Letney down, but Hunter's still lurking, but he peeks out a little bit early. Through the walls, ZywOo's able to kill him off. Rotation coming from Otto, but ZywOo's so patient. He'll keep this as a 2v2. Gonna start running his way back. May even consider a move on towards the site. The thing is, Nexa's following every step of the way. Slowly lurking behind the man with the bomb as well. And ZywOo's walking. There's a genuine chance that they could cross paths here and this round could all be over. ZywOo throwing nades from behind. The peek comes out, but it's just enough. Milliseconds of timing. And then the peek from Apex sprays onto Nexa. He's not going to get the kill, but will whittle him down, then gets it anyway.
Damn.
There was so many moments in that round where it could have just slipped away from Vitality, but they managed to slip it through.
You know, here's the thing is ZywOo's praised for a lot of things. Here's a small one. I think he plays sound cues so well. He hears everything, this guy. I mean, not only does he call for Apex to go for the peek out of heaven just to catch the player that was just bottled in the face by a Molotov, and not only did he have the read on volleying off his flank as well to just go rush the plant, but then also having heard Nexa drop down on the lower B site, that's when ZywOo decides to walk away. And it's beauty in terms of timing. They've got an opening pick, though. That's the saving grace. Otto opens up with a scout frag. One of 2 players sitting on armor. And the only man with a gun. We've got Deagles for the rest. And a P250's in the mix. You know, the trimmings, Tom.
Yeah, these rounds have been scary for Vitality so far throughout this match. Even the ones where they've won with 3 players or so standing, you still see them slipping at points.
And wait, last round for a second, let's just appreciate the fact that Apex gets hit for 95 damage backside, and if Nexa were to have gotten the kill, you would have had the ZywOo 1v1 clutch. Like, let's not take away. That round is still so close. This could be 13-10 and another.
Oh, Esperanto hits the shot as well onto RPK. Gives them a 2-man advantage. ZywOo running in will quickly diminish it a little bit, but there's still 2 players on the site. Otto with the scout. He's going to go down as well. They've got to watch out, though, because Nexa's about. Picks off a kill with the P250 unarmored, but MBK is going to look to reset this. Take it back to B. Letney's on a quick rotation, but only has a Deeg. And MBK with a good chance of taking this home.
But he's got to turn his head back. Next is peeking round, and he's got it. Headshot connects as NBK not found hiding in a corner, but rather walking around the hallways like a kid in the middle of class, Tom. He tried to get out of school, and he gets schooled for it. CR4ZY with a pistol round win. This is at least the 3rd successful round off of a purchase like this put to the board by CR4ZY. Again, a glaring issue from Vitality, not just versus teams of this caliber, but versus the best. ECS, it was their fault, and still they walked away with a win. May not be the case tonight. 6 more match points to go just to push it into OT, and they won't have an op for ZywOo to try and counter that of Otto. A CT side that has just been immaculate at times. 7 of their CT rounds, 2 of which go back to Vitality. Wall of smokes outside to try and get downstairs. Can they manage a man advantage? Alex loses some health.
I feel like if Letney had a bullet or 2 more, he might have managed to get RPK, but even still, a little bit of damage done. Still looking at Apex, maybe tempted to try and wrap around. See what he can do towards Mini, but Esperanto's been decent in that area, especially over the last couple, even with the Deeg. Letney watching outside, and Nexa just waiting patiently on B if they do go in this direction, but actually instead Apex going to look to try and challenge into heaven. They've got to be careful about this. Are they going to be facing the right way? Letney gets around the corner at the right moment, but he can't find that kill. So it will be the advantage taken by the T's for now. Otto in a good spot, though. Quickly trades it back. Doesn't give them much chance to actually get this execution going. Esperanto caught in the open. And Otto knows he can't go up. He can't take heaven. So instead, they have to try a different avenue. Luckily, he's got Hunter to support him. And again, level pegging.
Drop the bomb down. ZywOo's going to get the plant in. A Molotov to Hut redirects crazy, but there's damage versus the Opera as NBK looks to just spam the door. How do they get into this? CTs, they have so much more utility, but what they don't have is an abundance of time. They flash through the doorway. ZywOo's going to hide back behind second vent. Lines up bodies! 2 headshots from him and a 3rd from NBK. 5 more rounds to play. Vitality in it on Nuke. And crazy, the cash isn't there. But a force buy. It's a round that works versus Vitality. Again, broken record, Tom, but they struggle versus these rounds. And it's not just pistols. It's not just SMGs. There are still AUGs in play and a very successful scout that we've seen previously from Otto.
Door going to be burst. As I was just watching the angle. Hunter at the moment, 27 kills. There's a reason people hype about this guy as well, as I was not the only person tainted for greatness, but here we go. Apex again, double opener. Letney's gone, and so is the A defense.
Ooh.
MBK straight through the smoke, ruins Hunter. And every single player pushing into that site is able to get their 1v1 duel. Otto, well, trying to save. Oh! Oh my god. Oh, what are you doing? He's almost dead. Oh.
This is ridiculous. Buddy's got a guardian angel. How do you think he dies, Tom? Someone else? No, there's no more damaging grenades.
As long as it's not falling, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true, right?
I think he'd have
no,
to
he
jump
plays it safe.
anyway.
Yeah, he's out of
Yeah.
here. He's going to go back to spawn to save an AUG that moves forward, as does Vitality. 4 more rounds. I told you I was ready for the 16-14. Maybe it's OT instead. There are questions to be raised, but crazy are going to have to save. So one question that shouldn't be hard to answer is, will these guns prevail in another follow-up round? Even despite a potential slower pace, maybe scared of crazy and what they may do in a wild round like this. Lobby push could be damaging, but it seems to be outdoors. Otto gets the AUG in position, and his head is ripped clean off. Sayonara, sucker. He's gone. Down for the count. 3 USPs left over. This is an easy 12th round for Vitality, which means we've got 3 to go.
Yeah, all the map control now gained by the T side, and already spotting out little pieces of information. Nice nade as well. Watch Letney jump down into the ladder. It's just so clean the way they're able to use the Krieg.
I love Kriegs.
I really enjoy watching it without the scope. Like with the scope, I'm sort of like, it's kind of cool. But like without, it's just like, this just looks but like even shots that I don't think are that insane just look better when it's done with a Krieg.
Needs a better sound though.
Do you want to make a sound? Tell me what sound it needs to make.
I just wish it had maybe like more of a a metallic clang to it.
Just
Think of
play
like
dubstep when you shoot.
Almost like an M1 Garen, but then just off of the bolt. Listen, man, I don't know, but I just want it different, Tom. You ever go back and listen to the old CS sounds, or you're watching a montage from way back when, and what a different world.
Yeah.
It just makes me believe anything's possible. So new Krieg, new AUG sounds. Let's do it, Valve. If you want us to play it, make it music to my ears. Music to my eyes. Make them to
get louder. That's what I want.
Music to my eyes, Tom, is a full-fledged round like this. Because if it's going to end early, if Crazy aren't going to let Vitality take it the distance, then I want guns on guns. No more of these flubbed pistol rounds. Get the USPs out of my eyes. And let's get these Colts rolling. ZywOo's got this off close door. Dangerous initial position. He was looking to take Esperanto off the hut roof. And instead, he loses 40 of his health and has to fall back. Now, he could try to counterpick Auto. NBK currently taking said task. But it's an op with eyes down ramp, peering inwards, and Esperanto moving forwards. There's a smoke in his face, so he can't get information. But RPK is ready once it fades. Curious to see if Esperanto comes back for this.
I think he knows he can't peek towards the door, at least safely anymore. Just trying to shoulder peek. Only really going for information. As well, you can almost 100% guarantee the ZywOo was on the other side. Well, just a patient round. Both teams, utility starting to be expended in towards this A site. Flashbangs out, but not dedicated in that direction. Otto with the AWP ready and waiting. Spots ZywOo, but can do nothing against him. Jumps into the angle. The rotation's there. Alex has managed to get into position, and Hunter's still around this angle. He's been a menace so far, but he can't quite close MBK. And that leaves Letney alone. Again, a decision has to be made to hold on to this rifle. And, well, Vitality, they are dragging this back.
ZywOo jumps over the scope. Otto was posted on that angle for the entire round, Tom. He was only waiting for that exact circumstance to unfold, and the guy can't land the shot because ZywOo flies in over through the edge of the smoke, gets the pick. RPK immediately trades as ZywOo's cleared by the player in hell. And then the difference maker is NBK on the B site. He takes 98 points of damage, but that too is the difference. As many HP left over as he has kills on that forward momentum. They just flooded the site. Took it. They've got me stuttering, Tom, because there's only 2 rounds left now. I thought this was going to be over way back when Crazy were just looking like they had dominated Vitality on Nuke. But now this is it. This is what dreams are made of. 30 rounds, very real. Unless Crazy comes in with a half pistol, half rifle buy and just shuts it all down.
We've seen it before. It is a streak of rounds. 4 in a row, and or is it even 5 in a row? Might be 5 in a row, in fact. Hunter already burnt out. Rotating. Alex is going to be throwing in utility. They have the information at least on this TT side. They're hearing all the footsteps as they do look to get in towards this B side, but not spotting anybody out. Will start to be a bit of a worry. Look at Hunter's position, but the CZ not ideal, and ZywOo there to save his teammate. Still got Nexa and Letney both sat in a bit of a crossfire. Bear in mind, Letney does still have the rifle, so he's going to be homed in on the door. They have a pretty good setup for this take, in fact. It's the one thing that is to their benefit. Other than that, the weaponry's not there, and did he just spot the barrel? He did. Apex peeks out because of it, and now the other player's in such a troublesome position. Nexa, nigh on surrounded, still manages one. And Esperanto late to the party, just going to try and walk through the smoke, but surely there's players from the French side just waiting for this to fade, and yeah, Apex doesn't struggle to hit that shot. 15-14, it has come all the way back. And OT may be on the cards. And I never doubt that at any moment, something crazy could happen.
Let's do it. We've done it. We've gotten to the 30th round. Now, do we get more than 30 questions that shall be answered? One op per side. Lackluster utility out of Crazy. Only one kit for currently sitting on the belt loop of Nexa. Immediately, we get the ramp smokes out from the CTs, and we have Vitality stacking up in law. Squeaky doors where Esperanto has found these duels at times. Occasionally even peeking through hut if needed. I'm curious to see if Crazy decide to go for something ridiculous like this in the 30th round, or are they going to play scared? Will they be reserved to just holding the sights when the pressure is on like this? Team Vitality take it back outside. They've got the wall of smokes. It's up and over the silo, and that's map control, which will be taken. Letney can't do anything about it, and he has nobody really here to help him. Hunter can come out from Mini, but oh boy, he spams through Squeaky Door and nearly clears out NBK. Instead, now Hunter's watching Cross. There's so many smokes, they have no vision. A dink through smoke versus Letney. Now the chaos could unfold, but the T's opt not to spray their guns. They wait. The numbers still unknown to Crazy. How many players are downstairs? And the answer is 4.
And they don't have anyone there themselves. They've almost gambled completely on holding on to ramp. Now Nex is going to peek back in. Running across. The footsteps may have been heard. Like, they're closer than he may have thought. 30 seconds left on the clock. Vitality starting to leave this one quite late. They're spraying through the walls as to the previous positions, and all the information's now known by the CT side. They rotate as a trio down through Secret, and there's Letney already picking off one. ZywOo waiting, but he switches his gun at the wrong time, and that's going to be Hunter to shut down 2. The flank comes in from MBK, but do they have the time to do anything here? The answer is no, and at the depths of the game,